Spent in a miserable way.
U.S. news weather: Whiplash in the Midwest from deep freeze to melt, bringing new risks the new year. By N. Chicago. The bitter cold lifted in the Midwest on Friday, ending days of dangerously low temperatures and allowing a region that had all but vanished into hibernation to re-emerge. In many places, but the warm-up was expected to take a jarring jump in the coming hours and days, sending the battered region into a temperature roller coaster. The Thorgate City, in Wilmington, Illinois, along the Kankakee River, the police department warned of flash flooding that may occur without any warning as ice moves downstream. And at Oakland University, the difference in temperature that the Chicago region could experience by Monday 73 degrees. From Thursday morning, when the city saw a low of -21, to Monday, when it may be 52. It's fairly rare to see this much of a turnaround in temperature in this short of time, said Todd Kluber, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service. Chicagoans will go from a deep freeze on Wednesday and Thursday to a mild warm-up on Friday, as air from the Pacific begins to move into the region. Then there is more weather. In Illinois river cities, officials eyed the warmer forecast nervously. Deputy Chief with the ice. It's very unpredictable, he said. Because we don't know what. Chief Gasparini said the rain predicted by meteorologists would also be unwelcome, with the ground frozen and snow piles abundant. The rain is not. The cold air mass that has now moved east is uncommon, only seen about every 5 or 10 years, Mr. Kluber said. The Midwest deep, the cold spell caused significant destruction. The deaths of at least, drives Stathis Poulakidis, a burn surgeon at Chicago's John H. Struther Jr. Hospital of Cook. Dr. Poulakidis said he expected about half those patients to require amputation, ranging from a single finger or toe to a whole arm or foot. Even with temperature, when you get frostbite, he said, you don't stop getting frostbite. It kind of evolved. Other damage to infrastructure was just becoming clear. In Escanaba, in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, a water main had broken during the worst of the cold, sending water spewing onto a road, cutting water pressure in the city, and forcing workers to try to contain it behind a berm of snow in sub-zero temperatures. They had to chop through it. It was bubbling out of the ground at a 2-foot height, said Wendy Tavola, the city's assistant public works director. There was a pretty good, still, by Friday, many cities appeared back to normal. In Chicago, it's back to the status quo, said Angie Day, 34, a fundraiser for a non-profit, as she climbed the stairs to a post office in the uptown neighborhood on Friday morning. She had spent the streets in the neighborhood were salted, the sidewalks spotlessly cleared of ice and snow. It was sort of like, I think Chicago does a really good job of dealing with cold, Ms. Day said. We just put on
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.